Good evening, good evening. I decided to start the stream off with a little music from another source. I usually have my own background music, but I wanted to share a beat that I like a lot. So there you go. We're going to go ahead and switch things over into the main point of tonight's stream. How's everybody doing tonight? Good afternoon, good evening to the people in the US from Los Angeles all the way to the East Coast here in New York and Florida. I should say good morning to everyone else across the water out there in London, Tokyo, Hong Kong, Moscow, Paris, and, much the same to everyone else. Today we're going to be talking about these recent attacks from Iran. Recently, the Asian markets slipped this Monday, tracking a fall in U.S. equities as markets grappled with ratcheting tensions after Iran's unprecedented attack on Israel. I have to I have to say whoever typed up this article needed to do a spell check. But you pretty much get the gist of it. Over the past couple of days, Iran has attacked Israel with a number of missile and drone strikes. The US and Iran joined together to shoot down most of the drones and missiles. Unfortunately, if you signed up for the Selective Service Act, like I did, if worse comes to worse, if World War III gets announced, some of us may be getting drafted. Hopefully, it doesn't actually go that far. Usually, something like this could be resolved if the parties at hand are willing to negotiate and take a solid stance against the full out war. But that's how things are. Coming out of this weekend with Iran and Israel bumping heads. How's everyone's weekend been? I hope, I hope everybody's had a nice, relaxing weekend. Me, I'm looking for a peaceful resolution to this conflict. As things are now, having these conflicts increasing in the Middle East will affect us over here in some ways, mostly with the news coverage and for anyone else who has their money put away in a standard retirement account, you may notice some fluctuations going forward in the next oncoming days. Let me see what else I can pull up going into. Through some of these tabs. Here we go. Bring this one over here. I was outside grilling earlier. It was good. There's nothing more American than grilling on a Sunday. Hopefully the weather isn't too cold tomorrow. This morning it was like 60 something when I woke up. I didn't even want to roll out of bed. Shout out to those tuning in. I won't be on for long. I'll probably be on for another 20. I do gotta get up early tomorrow. Let's go ahead and pull up. We got the S&P 500 futures currently up about $11 in tradings. Opened at $5,166 today. So far the S&P is doing good. Nothing's really changing drastically. I'm gonna switch over into the Dow Jones, see how the Dow Jones is doing. The Dow Jones currently up 70 on the mini futures. Now these are delayed quotes, so before anyone jumps down my throats with the, oh well, technically your quotes are off. Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna pay all this extra money to look at up to date price quotes and like I'm not a full time trader or anything. I just work. Like a lot of people out there, I got a retirement account. I try to put money on the side to invest and, you know, speed up the process, but I don't have time to get all into the technicalities that, deal with the trading world. It can be a lot. If you don't believe me, just watch a YouTube video about it. You'll see. But so far, the Dow Jones is doing well. We're up $70 on the total day of trading. The market's been opened for a couple hours now. If I'm not mistaken, most trading picks up like Sunday for the well, outside of the stock market. I think like Forex and futures markets open up on Sunday. So they've had a pretty much solid day of trading, bouncing back some of those losses that were incurred over the weekend or, well, at the Friday close when certain tensions in the Middle East started to spike. And close out with the NASDAQ just to give you guys an update. As you guys can see from some of the quotes, these are provided by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, just delayed. As for the NASDAQ, we're up $49. So far, everything's bounced back. Let me see. Yeah, it's pretty much just been bouncing in and out of this range. Around from, let's see, 18,198 up at 18,237. So far, nothing major has been impacted too much with the conflicts going on. We'll see as things unfold. Hopefully, there's nothing too major. I don't need my retirement taking any drastic dips as is. It's already hard enough to retire at a reasonable age as is. If you'll excuse me, guys, let me refresh my camera for a second. I'm gonna hop off the stream, but you guys will see me in a moment. All right, folks, I'm back. Sorry for that. I had to refresh a few things. Now, what was that? Okay, yeah, I already gave the update on the Nasdaq and S&P, Dow Jones. So, with that being said, let me go ahead and shift into gold. Yes, I'm gonna get into gold a little bit here. Main reason, a lot of the old timers, and just so I don't have to hear them later, a lot of the old timers will always recommend getting into precious metals like gold, silver, and copper. So just to dabble a little bit, dip our toes in the pond. We're gonna go ahead and check it out. Currently, we got gold trading at around $2,376, uh, roughly like up $2. Currently, the U.S. markets are closed, but thanks to the Asian markets, we got some, after hours trading going on. So shout out to any of the traders around the world currently. Go ahead and close out some of these tabs. My computer is already giving me a warning. I know some people out there are like, well, damn, you haven't upgraded your computer? Hell no. I ain't no big YouTuber yet. I'm trying to put out this material as much as I can, but I'm only human. I gotta fit time in with watching anime and working on my other personal desires, like writing a book, playing video games, catching up on old TV shows. Uh, Zoom out of some more financial stuff. Let me go ahead and do your own due diligence. I know I put it in the actual description of the video, but I gotta go out and verbally just say it just to be sure. I don't know how all the algorithms work exactly, but I just want to be safe. And also, if you like the beat that was playing earlier when I started the stream, go ahead and click on that link in the in the description. It'll be the background music. All right, now to speed through some of the crypto for some of the techies out there. Yes, I try to dabble in some of the crypto too, but this stuff doesn't really make you all millionaires unless you're one of the first to get in. But I mean, even now, they're starting to see some positive upticks with the crypto market. So, like I said, doing whatever you can to retire early is the best thing. Just try to balance it, You retire, putting money to the side for retirement, saving money, paying your bills. It's a lot of stuff to balance out, but it's a part of adulting. So just to zoom through real quick, we got Bitcoin up roughly 3%, Ethereum up roughly 5%, BNB up 2.5%, Solana up 7.25%, Lido stacked Ethereum. Jesus, y'all have to forgive me. I invest in certain cryptos, just like Cardano. I buy some fractions of Solana, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Some of the bigger, um, some of the bigger coins. I try to just buy fractional pieces of, you know how it goes. But outside of Cardano, Shiba Inu is up 4.75%. Avalanche up roughly 8%. Cardano up roughly 4%. Jeez, we got Wrap Bitcoin up roughly 2.5%. And I would say now is a good time to just be in on any of the Bitcoin Cash up roughly 11.5%. Yeah, now is a good time to be on anything Bitcoin. Tron is up. Wrap Tron. I don't really know too much about the Wrapped variants. If any of my friends on Facebook, Twitter, well, X, however you call it nowadays, and Instagram, I don't know if you guys are knowledgeable about the Wrapped variants, but if you can, please let me know more about the Wrapped variants. I'll probably watch a YouTube video when I'm at work, but yeah, I need to know more about these Wrapped variants. I won't lie to you. Polkadot is up roughly 6%. Polkadot's definitely one of the ones on my list. So is Chainlink, up roughly 6%. And Polygon up roughly 9%. Uh, don't sleep on any of these three: Polkadot, Chainlink, Polygon. There's still a lot of potential in these, especially Chainlink. If I not remember, Chainlink went all the way up to around like $38. Well, I won't say it went all the way up there. There are certain all-time highs and stuff like that that haven't been reached yet from the previous crypto run. But last time I was checking in on Chainlink last year, it was around roughly $34. So there's definitely some upside potential there. Keep your eyes out for it. And that pretty much rounds it out here with Internet Computer up 5.25 roughly. Near Protocol up 8.5% roughly. Litecoin 4.25%. Leo 2.75%. And DAI, it's not really doing much, but it's green for the day. So we're gonna wrap it up there, folks. And let me transition over into the next thing we're going to be doing. And that is an article on we are having to deal with childcare, not really, well, to put it to you bluntly, childcare is outpacing inflation. And we were already struggling with inflation. You have to pardon me on the ads, people. I don't really invest in all these ad blockers. I just use my computer sparingly. But just to speed through this real quick, parents are drowning in childcare costs, and high inflation is adding to their laundry list of daily expenses, according to a recent survey from childcare platform Care.com. The average cost to enroll a child in a daycare licensed daycare is a crucial thing to take note there. Some people just have babysitters that they ain't necessarily licensed, but you trust them and they good with kids. We ain't gonna get too much into that right there. But anyway, the average cost to enroll a child in a licensed daycare can set you back $16,692 annually in 2024, or $321 a week for just one child. Infant care in a home daycare costs $230 a week, or $11,960 a year. Uh, I'm gonna just put that to you guys in like basic car guide talk. So for about $16,692, you can probably pick you up an old, probably I won't say an old school, but probably pick you up a nice project car for around 5, 6 thousand. And with just about 6,000, you're putting another $10,000 into like parts and labor into it, just restoring it and bringing it into like almost like new condition. Same thing with like this 11,960. That's pretty much like a good used car if you can buy like off Facebook Marketplace or was it Craigslist? That yeah, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. I don't know if the yeah, Craigslist, but hey, it's still out there. Meanwhile, the price of a full-time nanny stood at the average of $766 per week. Sheesh. Hey man, that's dude. Hey, some of y'all might want to think about being a nanny. That's almost $1,000 a week. Now this is like they pile in all the high earning nannies from like New York and California and lump them in with like the low cost of living areas. So the numbers are kind of skewed a bit there. And I don't know the methodology and the studies. So just take that with a grain of salt. All right. Let's speed through a little bit more. One reason for the uptick in childcare costs and inflation, the same force driving up consumer prices across the board. According to the government, measured the cost of daycare and preschool rose 4.4% in March compared to a year ago. While while that's slightly down from 5.5% over year, increase reported in February, it's still a struggle for millions of families. The problem has worsened as some child care centers, have been forced to shut down or at risk of closing following the expiration of pandemic era funds. Well, true. That the pandemic did expose that a lot. Our healthcare, childcare, any type of system that ended in care was pretty much stressed to the max and either just buckled or had to be saved by the government. Well, I'm not going to read through the whole article. There's a lot of stuff to read through here. I'll share links to all this stuff later on my Facebook and Twitter. Before tonight's over, just stay tuned after the stream ends if you want to read it yourself. And for some of the like real number crunchers, if you want to like double check some of these numbers and stuff, you're more than welcome to go ahead. I get most of the well, you can probably see it. I get most of the stuff from Yahoo Finance. So whichever side of the fence, left or right leaning you may be, it's Yahoo. It's been around for years. We all know it, and it's free. That's my best part. It's free. But close out a few more tabs here. Gonna take a quick water break here. Make sure you stay hydrated, folks. Oh. Mm. Man. Oh, before I log off, folks, let's just go ahead and check out the gas prices coming up. I already know this is going to be. Now I have to apologize ahead of time. This is going to be for just the Fort Pierce area. I'm going to go ahead and bounce out for you guys to see. So, from Airport Road or St. Lucie Boulevard on the north side, all the way down to Rocket Fuel by Biff Smith Toyota. So, yeah, I'm sorry. If you guys live in Port St. Lucie, the prices may be a little bit different. I know earlier today I filled up a little. For me, it was like 339 over at the Sunoco, right off Orange Avenue and 25th, MLK. See, we got 342 at the lowest. 342 at the Lotus. Damn, I said at the Lotus. We got 342 at the lowest, going all the way up to 364 at the highest at Shell. Damn, Shell, why you gotta be like that? They can get at least give you a break. 10 cents off. 10 cents. That ain't bad. Oh, what's up, Shadow? I know you guys can't see him, but Shadow just joined me here on the stream. He felt like coming in to my little computer room. Mhm. Um, before I sign off, guys, let me drop at least one more piece on you, just to slide off a little bit from the financial side of things a bit. The NPR just dropped an article roughly an hour ago, around 9:30. Okay, yeah, here we go. We're getting more details on the attacks. Let me go ahead and share this to you. So, as released by NPR by Julian Kim, Jacqueline Diaz, and Joey Hernandez, respect to these journalists. And I don't own any of the images. All copyrights are due to this website. Once again, I will be sharing a lot of these posts and linking them down in the description when I edit the post later for uploads on other platforms. Again, fair use. I don't own any of this stuff. Iran launched a massive barrage of over 300 drones and missiles at Israel over the weekend in what is believed to be Iran's first direct attack on its regional foe from Iranian soil. Nearly all weapons were intercepted by Israel and its allies, including the United States. However, a few of the Iranian ballistic missiles made it through the defenses, severely injuring a 7-year-old girl and slightly damaging a military base in southern Israel, according to Israeli officials. Damn, I feel bad for that little girl. That's like the main thing that the Palestinians have been complaining about from the onset of the whole Israeli invasion into Palestine, that just too many civilian casualties have been suffered. Like, I know they have to go in and try to hunt down, Hezbollah or I'm sorry, Hamas, excuse me, but it's just too many civilian casualties. The cost of war at times can be too great, and we really don't factor in how much that weighs in on the generations of people that come after, because you kind of shape a whole generation's worth of thinking when they think of a certain group of people, like and it's really because, and I may not be liked for this opinion, Israel is just kicking ass. And excuse my language if you have children listening, but when Hamas attacked, they, I mean, I understand they tried to attack them from all angles with all types of missiles and everything they could. But when you look at who's done, who's, pretty much come out just leading the charge, just kicking ass, taking names, it's Israel. Hamas couldn't really do no serious damage to Israeli infrastructure or military bases when they attacked them. And I think it's like over what, 300. Yeah, Hamas sent over like maybe what, it was like 1,000. Oh, let me double check that. In the meantime, let me finish this first. I'm getting sidetracked, but yeah, Hamas sent well over 300 missiles, and they didn't do much. So if Syria thought those 300 missiles or drones were going to do anything, that was gravely mistaken, because now you've basically given them the right to attack you. And I talk to my brother about this, and I tell him that the Israelis are just, when it comes to war, they are well equipped and one of the most elite militaries in the world. So Iran has their hands full with this, and this isn't like the first Israeli Arab war. I'll leave a link to one of them, to a video about it on my Facebook and on my page for the podcast. I'm gonna try to share more things to the podcast page as well. I've been slacking on that, but yeah, basically the Arab Israeli war has kind of been a reoccurring thing over the past few decades in the Middle East. And we may see not just Iran, but Syria and um, a slew of other Arab countries. I can't even name them all, but I can just keep naming off a bunch of Arab countries, and just, it's basically like sh- throwing darts at a board. But anyway, they're all going to join together and try to fight Israel, because no one single country can take them on by themselves. So, with that being said, the US and as well the UK, I believe, and other, NATO aligned countries will be drawn into this conflict. So, they are setting some of the groundwork for another global conflict. This is something that we need to pay attention to. But let me finish the article. Iranian officials said the attack was in response to an airstrike from earlier this month that hit Iran's consulate in Damascus, Syria. Okay, so, I mean, there's Syria's justification to get involved. They're attacking people on our soil. Israel neither confirmed nor denied being behind the Syria strike, though Iran and the Pentagon said Israel was responsible. On Sunday, a senior Iranian military official said Iran's operation against Israel had ended and there would be no more attacks coming, according to the Iranian state media. No, it's too late now. The ass whooping is coming. It's coming. I don't know. Was it Benjamin Netanyahu? I don't know if he speaks fluent Hebrew, but if he is, he's speaking it right now, and he's calling you all type of names because he's about to put foot in ass. Well, not him literally, but the Israeli Defense Force. It's about to be bad. But tensions continue to run high in the Middle East. Now the focus is on how Israel and other countries will respond to Iran's escalation. An Israeli military spokesperson said on Sunday that leaders had approved operational plans for both offensive and defensive action. Okay, yeah, that ass whooping is coming. Without going into further detail, all right, here's what to know. Nearly all aerial attacks were intercepted, Israel says, in large parts thanks to Israel's advanced air defense systems. The Iron Dome, I think is what they call it, that is pretty good. It's one of the most elite anti-air defense, anti-air missile, anti-drone. It's one of the best things you can have. In the days leading up to the attack, the U.S. and Israel closely coordinated their air defense preparations. Still, a U.S. official described the Iranian barrage as being at the high end of what the U.S. and Israel expected. About 99% of the aerial attacks launched by Iran and its proxies were Bruh. You see, and this is why I kind of like to side with the Buddhists and the more peace loving religions out there in the world. Because why you want to go and start some stuff? Like, and I didn't look that up because how many missiles did Hamas launch at Israel? Okay. All right. Mm, Okay. This is an article from the New York Times. I can't believe Iran sent 300. All right. So Israel says some three. I'm sorry. Israel's. I got like dual screens up going on. I'm sorry. Israel says some 12,000 rockets have been fired from Gaza starting on October 7th. They have killed 15 people in Israel. Okay. I'm not going to get into the photos. I'll share the article and all this stuff later. I got to wrap it up and get to bed. But yeah, I don't know what Iran was thinking. 300, like, that wasn't even going to do much. I mean, they injured a little 7-year-old girl. I mean, I hope she recovers. That's nothing to make light of. But um, they fired roughly 12,000 missiles from Gaza and only killed 15 people. Now, there were hostages taken, and they're still trying to recover these hostages now. Some have been released, some are still held hostage. It's an ongoing thing. But I don't think Iran fully thought this attack through. I think they just responded. Um, I don't know. I think it was more of it was in the heat of the moment. Like they had to do something in response to the attack on one of their top ranking officials, but it was not a well thought out plan. And I understand that there is supposed to be some type of Arab union or co pact between some of the Arab countries, but this is not. I don't know. This isn't. If there was going to be an Arab coalition against Israel, this was not the way to set the stage for it. This was definitely going to. Oh man, I can't even. Yeah, this was not the way to, like, if you wanted to encourage the other Arab countries to side with you, this was not the way to do it. Let me get back to the NPR article. Oh, I almost forgot about so yeah, Lebanon, Syria, Iran. Okay, we got more stuff to finish. Israeli spokesperson Rear Admin Rear Admin Daniel Hagari said Sunday that the Arrow 3 had proved itself against a significant number of ballistic missiles. That was a part of their anti defense system. Still, several people suffered from shrapnel wounds from the attack, including a 7-year-old Bedouin girl, the 7-year-old girl that was mentioned earlier, who underwent surgery due to a head wound. The Times of Israel and Haaretz reported Hagari confirmed the reports. Iran's Foreign Minister Hussein Amir Abdullahian, excuse me if I butchered your name, I'm sorry, bro, I'm not good at this, said the country notified the US ahead of the attack and Swiss intermediaries, informing that the strike will not target American personnel or bases in the region. US officials, however, said there was no notification from Iran prior to the attack on where weapons would be targeted. Uh, some more news updates. Israel struck a Hezbollah target in Lebanon and urged the UN to condemn Tehran. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, I think Tehran's like the current Lebanese current leader in Lebanon. He's been working with Hezbollah. Um, Hezbollah is like another anti-Israel group trying to fight it out with them. I mean, I don't approve of war because it's going to lead to a bunch of children and innocent people being hurt. But if if we are getting into World War III, and this is the setting stage um, of the Middle Eastern theater, so to say, it's not looking good for the Arab coalition or the United Arab countries that are trying to fight against Israel. This is not really looking good for them. At this point, I would say peace, some type of peace treaty, would be the more suitable way to walk away from this conflict before a serious number of people do get hurt. Because at this point, they just don't have the ballistics, the missiles, nor the drones to truly damage Israel or make a decisive blow without resorting to a nuclear option. And once they resort to a nuclear option, things become a lot more absolute and will lead into a more disastrous and critical climate for the world and the people in it. But that's enough of me rambling on. I'm gonna go ahead and shut down the stream. Thank you guys for chatting and well, chatting, sitting with me, hearing me talk, ramble on. You know how it is. But peace, love, happiness. You guys have a good night. And for those going to work tomorrow, hey, don't forget to get some hot tea, hot coffee, or an energy drink if you need it. Good night.